So here's what's going on with the Virago 250 so far. Here's the engine, completely painted, and engine enamel, looking so clean, looking so much better because it had all that paint that was bubbling and everything. Clutch, new clutch has been installed. I'm gonna have a video for that soon. It's gonna be a separate video. I installed the clutch plates. I also have a video on how to fix a clutch issue. If you're having issues shifting into first or second, you can check that out. Link is in the top right. Go to the video, and hopefully it can help you fix any issues you're having with your XV250. What I use to paint the engine is this Duplicolor engine enamel with ceramic. So hopefully it does the job. It's rated to withstand heat up to 500 Fahrenheit. As for the frame, here's the swing arm that's going to connect to it. Taken off a lot of the rust with a wire brush and a drill. It did the job, it was enough, and then I just went over with some steel wool just to smooth it out a bit. I'm not going for a perfect job, but it's actually really good for the quick job that I did. First I'm going to paint the rusted areas with some reformer. I'm going to paint over that with some gloss black rust paint. It's gloss black, so I might as well just try to match it as much as possible. Same with the frame, it's gloss black. I'm going to use this paint to touch up any areas of rust on the frame as well. So I have the forks here. See, there was some surface rust from the triple tree. Water must have got in there for sure. The rest of it's pretty good. It's just dirt. I already sanded off the rust on this fork. Looks nice and new. I also use just some steel wool. This is like, steel wool will do the job. It's like medium grit. It'll do the job to take a lot of the rust off of things. It's probably more than enough. So here's the cover plate for the engine that's going to go there. I sanded it down. I had a lot of gouges in it, so I sanded it down pretty low to the surface plastic material. And since the engine is semi-gloss, I'm going to use this Rust-Oleum plastic paint. But first I'm going to prime it with plastic rust, same brand and everything, and then paint it with the semi-gloss. So hopefully it matches the engine pretty well. Just as long as it's close enough, I'll be happy. So here's the chain cover guard. There's a lot of surface rust. I'm just going to take that off and I'll be painting it satin black. Okay, so here's the frame. I used some steel wool. It was really rough here, so I just smoothed it out, and then I'm going to paint it over with the I'm going to paint it with the gloss black rust paint. Any areas I see on the bike with rust, I'll just scuff it with the steel wool and then paint over it with the rust paint. So there's an update on the parts. So I've been trying to get a lot of the surface rust off a lot of these old parts, getting it down to the bare metal as much as possible. So this needs a little bit more work before I can paint it. I did clean up and paint some other parts. So I did the brake drum cover, the riser, clamp things. I forgot the name of those. Painted the forks. Turned out really nice. I used flat black. I wanted to do semi-gloss, but the flat black looks so much better, and it actually went on a lot better than the semi-gloss, and it cured a lot faster. The lower end of the triple tree is done. The light rim for the light bucket's done. Here's the other end of the headlight housing and the speedometer cover. Also painted in matte black. Looks really good. Some other parts here. Here's the other side of here's the top part of the triple tree and the passenger pegs, chain cover. So here's the frame. I touched up a lot of rust spots. I didn't want to do the whole frame, but I just touched it up here and there with some rust reformer, and then I put some gloss rust paint on it. Looks really clean. Almost looks brand new. So that's good enough for me. The wheels are here. First I'm gonna obviously clean up the wheels, and then I think I'm gonna put the tires on first because I might struggle and I don't want to scratch the paint, and then mask the tires off and then paint the wheels. I think that's a better idea. Also have some new tires I got from Fort 9. They're Shinko tires. I checked online, I got one of these. It's a tire removal and installing kind of, they're like levers. And these are this will protect the rim from the levers so you don't scratch the rim. A lot of people say these suck, but I'll try to do my best to use these. I don't want to scratch the rims. Yeah, we'll give it a go. If it doesn't work, I'll just return these and I'll just get the tires installed at a shop professionally. So I cleaned up the wheels with that spray-nined greaser. Worked amazing. I just sprayed it on. I didn't have to wipe it off. I just used a scrub brush. Then I sprayed water, and it just, like, water, all the dirt just came right off. So I called a motorcycle shop and I asked them how much it would cost to put on the wheels, and they're like, there's a wait June 16th. It's like June 4th right now. It's like, I'm gonna wait that long just to put on some tires. So I said, screw it. I went for it. Took off the tire. Just watched some YouTube tutorials and it worked out fine. Those tools actually work really well, so I guess I'll keep them. So I got the tire off the rim, but I need a new tube for the back wheel. And then once I put the tire on, I can mask the wheel, and then I can mask the wheel from the tire and then paint the rim black. The reason I don't want to paint it now is because when I put the tire on, I'm pretty sure I'm going to scrape paint off, so it's better I just paint the wheel when the tire's on and just mask it. Oh, here's the swing arm. I painted that gloss black. Took off all the rust. Looks like brand new now. I'm going to be installing that today, along with the springs. The springs are right here. I'm going to keep them silver because I'm going for the black silver kind of look. Just want to show you guys how organized you need to be when you take apart a motorcycle. So get little baggies, Ziploc bags, and put everything, all the bolts and everything, and label everything. That way you won't be like, hey, where does this go? Easiest way to organize yourself on a project like this. I got the throttle cables installed on the carburetor and up here on the tube, so it's working well. Lucky I labeled everything on which wire went where. This would have been a nightmare. Also put on these new grips. I like these a lot. They're just cheap Amazon ones, but they look really nice. I also put the handlebar on. Put the handlebar on just so I could tighten these risers. This isn't the final position. Not sure the angle I want, but this actually looks pretty good. Still the other one and the clutch. That's what I'm gonna do next. I figure out how to feed all these cables so it looks neat. Also so the cables don't get in the way of other things. I need to reference how they actually go back together. Because I'm not sure, like, see the throttle cables, how they stick out to the side? If I try to tuck them in, then there's too much tension on the throttle and it doesn't spring back, so I don't know. I have to look at pictures of what the bike looked like before I took it apart, even footage, so we'll see. Okay, so I got the swing arm back on. See, all the rust was cleaned off and repainted, gloss black. Looks like it's brand new. Also got the lowered springs. They're 10.5 inch. These are from the older Honda Rebel. They fit on perfectly. Give me a nice lowered profile. Got the speedometer back on with the bracket, the headlight bucket. Got the clutch back on, working great. Nice. The tension's perfect. Repainted this control unit. It was like stripping paint. You could see the metal exposed, so I just gave it a quick coat of rust paint and clear coat just to freshen it up. Reinstalled ignition coils. These are all brand new. I'm also gonna install a new rectifier. I also ran the wiring harness through. I started connecting things. Alright, I have the battery box area in. All the connections are done. Got the relay. So this relay here is for LEDs. Set the right power flow, I guess, for LEDs, because if you don't do that, then they're gonna flash too fast. So this will give it the normal flashing speed. So I have the ignition computer in, the CDI. I have the front forks back in. Put the headlight bucket with the bracket. I already started to connect all these connectors, and all that's left is the signals to do, and then the headlight. But I'm gonna change the headlight bulb first before I put the headlamp on. And I gotta figure out how to organize all these wires, because you can't, if you tuck these wires in like that, and this ends up sticking. Oh, actually it's not too bad. When the bike's done, there's a bunch of these laying around from when I dismantled the bike. I'll just tie up all the wires and stuff nicely. Yeah, the Virago project's looking really good. It's all blacked out. Makes me wish it came like this. I don't know why Yamaha doesn't release this in the present, all blacked out. Like they do some on the new V-Stars, but it'd be nice to get some black forks, black engine and all that, handlebars. But anyway, they probably don't care. That bike sells. Okay, I'm working on the fuel tank. Took off the fuel tap. The screws were so stuck on. I tried making a notch with a file so I could use a screwdriver and a mallet to kind of hammer a little bit at a time. Didn't work, and I just grabbed some vice grips and turned the whole screw around, so that worked on both. So when I took the fuel tap off, the tubes are broken, obviously. This thing's a Junkyard Virago, so I had to order one of these because I couldn't find one online that was worth buying in the condition that it was in. Like they're all used, but like I'm paying the same for, I'm actually paying less for a new one. So I just grabbed a new one. And you can see, so there's the tubes are stuck in the tank. So you can see there's one of the longer tubes. I gotta get the shorter tube. I guess that's the reserve tube that's still stuck in the tank. So I'm trying to shake it out. It's almost impossible to like put my hand in there and grab it. I'll keep trying to take it out. That way I can actually take the rust out of the fuel tank. I can't do it without the tube in there because then it's going to be in there forever. I want to get it out. Is I filled the tank. You can see, trying to get the rust out of the gas tank. So I filled it up with vinegar. I sealed the bottom. I'll leave it in there for a couple days and then wash it out with water and then seal it. Okay, so I'm working on these valve covers, but there's a lot of rust pitting, so it's going to be really hard. I don't have the means to get these back to chrome. So what I did was I got them back to just a dull kind of metal look, which goes pretty good with the bike. I like it. So to get this into that, I just used my palm sander with some 60 grit, and I used some medium coarse steel wool. So if you want, you can go a little bit farther and do a polish and buff it on a buffing wheel, and it should look a lot better, more shinier. Actually stripped the paint off the oil filter cap. Looks way better. That way I can have more of a black and metal contrast. Hope you guys like the progress so far. Should have some more updates soon. Just waiting on some parts and little things. That's it for now. This is Stealth from Motor Gear Solid. I'll see you guys soon with another update.